6 minutes. It's the 3 o'clock hour. Welcome, Lagos. This is Hard Facts, and this will be, as I always say, your most authentic news experience because we are the nation's #1 talk news and sports radio station. I'm Mary Okon, welcoming you to Hard Facts. As usual, we start off with the big 3 stories for the day, and right after that, we go into conversations. Well, today is Thursday, so we will be taking you on a global view of things. Yes, looking at the politics in the United States of America and the recent post by or statement by the U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris, who said that she's ready and well able to step in as acting president if and when President Biden is unable to complete his tenure. And of course, we will be talking on nays and ayes with a former Speaker of the House of Assembly in Cross River State, who will be looking at a bill that is being pushed back on the floor of the National Assembly for increased participation for women, youth, and people living with disability in the electoral process. We'll be looking at it and breaking it down. And so if you are you fall into the 3 categories that have been mentioned, you'd be glad to be part of that conversation from 5 to 6 p.m. Once again, my name is Mary Okon. Welcome to a well-curated conversation just made for you.
This is Hard Facts. This is the Big 3.
The Big 3 on Hard Facts
on 99.3.
All right, let's look at the big 3 stories for today. Yes, we always make sure that you look at the biggest top stories with us making rounds on whether it be social media, news bulletins, or even the stories that you have been discussing on the coffee table, breakfast table, or even, where you're having drinks with friends. But the top story for today, we know we've been hearing it all day, is blackout across Nigeria as national grid collapses due to this development. One of the distribution companies said that with its interface with all the transmission companies of Nigeria, most of the grids have. There's not been light anyway. It's just that I think it's coming back from the reports that we're getting. It's coming back. I will give you some background into that, but that's the biggest story for today. Yes, I guess it's maybe, I don't know, maybe because we're back in the rainy season. This is me trying to make excuses. But then I'm going to give you full information as to what happened and why we're where we are again. Do you remember the federal government was very excited that the grid had not collapsed in 4 months and they were applauding? Did they celebrate a bit too early? Well, what do we have to do to make sure that this thing doesn't happen ever, over and over again? Because it becomes, I think under the Buhari administration, it became like an epileptic situation. It just kept going on and off. And us Nigerians, we started making fun of it. We started talking about it and, making funny memes. But it's a very serious issue. We're at a point in our lives where we should be having 24 hours public power supply. I just want you to pause for a minute. If you're driving, please don't stop driving. Just keep driving. But pause for a little and just shut down the noise in your head. Imagine if we did have 24 hours power supply. Do you know what this does? Powering the country means that you're powering businesses. Every single thing will begin to work. I kid you not. Imagine it. Just paint a picture. 24 hours. So light will be the list of your problems. You're not worried to put oil in the generator in case. Or if you're running a station like mine, you know that one of the things that is the biggest in our overhead costs is buying diesel, making sure that you have backup power supply. Or for those who need to use inverters, huge capacity inverters. Imagine a Nigeria that has 24-hour supply. So the question again, Lagos, is did we celebrate a bit too early about the fact that the grid was not going to collapse, or it had not collapsed in 4 months? And what must be done to prevent this from happening over and over and over again? A second big story, Labour Party knows Obi lost the 2023 elections. Wole Soyinka. Yes. The Nobel laureate yesterday alleged that the Labour Party and Peter Obi, its flag bearer, did know indeed that they lost because they came in third place during the 2023 presidential elections. I'll give you some background to that as we go. And third big story today, Lagos, $800 million stock funds. Yes, stock funds. Yes, federal government directs CBN to settle foreign airlines backlog. Now, do you remember the reason why we had this situation with the United Arab Emirates in the first place? Because we were unable to repatriate the funds that, were generated from these airlines going back and forth. Now, the presidency is saying this has to be done. I've got questions, Lagos, but let me start by giving you background into the greed collapse. I always like to make sure that you understand the story, give you some perspective to it. So that way, when you're calling me, you know exactly what to talk about. Now, I did tell you that the Transmission Company of Nigeria hereby had noted that the grid restoration nationwide was in progress. Yes, it had reached advanced stages with power supply now available in the west, north central, southeast, and a large portion of the northern parts of the country. The power supply restoration is sequel to the total grid collapse which occurred about 12:35 a.m. this morning, causing an outage nationwide after over 421 days of consistent grid stability. Now, in the course of the grid restoration, the process initially suffered a setback, but this does not amount to another collapse. So everybody's saying, how are we sure that? Well, the TCN is saying, no, hold your horses. That's not where we're going. Well, but the restoration process is ongoing, and it was promptly addressed. So kudos to, the TCN for that. Some areas already getting light. I did get a little bit of light for like maybe an hour, and then it went again just before I showed up to work. So yeah. And so I'm asking a question today, about this TCN thing. Did the federal government and us, even indeed Nigerians, did we celebrate a bit too early, knowing that, the grid had not collapsed for so long, and we were very happy? It was like, a sigh of relief. Or, again, what must be done? What must we do to make sure that we don't necessarily have this constant collapse of our national grid? How do we prevent it from happening again and again and again? Something has to give, right? What is that thing? Okay, let's move on to another story. I want to give you two more stories before I open the phone lines to take your thoughts and your comments, okay? Yes, let's look at the other stories. $800 million stock. Well, Mr. President is saying that he wants that issue addressed. And I'm asking you today on the show, shouldn't this have been done early enough? Well, again, some people say give the president a break. He just got into office. It's just 100+ days. They're addressing this issue here and now. But is this another order that's been given that needs to be completely followed through? Or are we going to hear more stories going forward? Could this also be the condition that the UAE must have given Mr. President before they had this agreement? Hence, the presidency coming back to tell us that, there has to be some agreements and, the process will take a while before, the flights can begin to go back and forth, Nigeria and Dubai. Okay? Let's look at that story in its entirety. Quickly, Lagos, then I will let you join me on the phone lines. Well, President Bola Tinubu yesterday directed the Central Bank of Nigeria to create a platform for quarterly reconciliatory meetings with foreign airlines towards settling accumulated trapped funds. The Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, disclosed this in Abuja at the ongoing African Aviation Summit. He noted that the development was one of the reasons President Tinubu traveled to the United Arab Emirates to address. He expressed his displeasure with the trapped funds of foreign airlines in Nigeria. Before the minister's directive, foreign airlines had found it very difficult to get their funds due to Nigeria's foreign exchange forex policy. So I'm guessing that this order should also be going to the CBN, because they're the ones who come up with these forex policies that one way or the other caused this problem. So Are we really addressing what's at the core of this matter or not? 0700 993 993 993. That's the number for you to call. 0700 993 993 993. You could join the conversation if you're a lady. 01465 7190. We're live facebook.com/Nigeria Info and on YouTube, Nigeria Info 99.3. I'd like to hear from you, Lagos. Join the conversation. And you can also join us on WhatsApp. Send us a message via WhatsApp. Would like to hear from you. Okay, let's go straight to the phone lines. Hello. Welcome to Hard Facts.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name, sir? Where are you calling from?
Is that Nigeria Info?
This is Nigeria Info.
First time caller.
Oh, first time caller. Congratulations. You made it through.
Fine. I just want to say well done for good work. God bless you.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Thank you. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Hard Facts.
Good afternoon. About the grid.
What's your name, sir?
My name is Akin.
Your name is what?
Akin,
go ahead.
AKI.
All right.
About the grid. Nigeria grid is, I don't know how to put it. It's just too large. We should have a fifth grid in this country. That's the southwest, southeast, south. All the geopolitical districts should have their own grid. But to have a single grid in a country as big as this country, when you talk of electricity, we are inviting people. Because we all know what electric is. Any slight spark anywhere, it will affect, all the connections. That is one thing I understand about electricity. Thank you, God bless.
All right. Thank you very much for calling. Hello. Good afternoon. Welcome to Hard Facts. Apologies. Do call us back if that was you. All right. We want to take more of your thoughts and comments. The big three stories for today. We're looking at Mr. President's order for repatriation of funds for all of these international airlines. He wants it seen to. Yes. And then, of course, the blackouts across Nigeria that was caused as a result of the national grid collapsing. Now, don't forget that the TCN they were on hand to deal with the issue, and power has been restored to a few places. But the big question is, what must be done to put an end to this constant collapse of our national grid? Because something has to give. And did we celebrate a bit too early? Because, we just had another collapse. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Ochonogo.
Ochonogo, please go ahead.
Yes, I want to know, where is Auntie Sandra?
You must have not listened to Nigerian Info in a long time.
Yes, I'm not listening because I traveled before.
Well, Sandra is no longer here. She's gone to better places. Yes.
Oh, we miss her.
Oh, sorry about that. Sorry. Sandra is no longer with us. Yes, I'm guessing that you have not listened in a while. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Hard Facts.
Miriam, how are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. What's your name, sir?
That's my name from Satellite Town.
Go ahead.
It's quite unfortunate that we keep having loss of national grid. And I want to toe the line of there was this penultimate caller that spoke about the disadvantage of having a national grid. I think the geopolitical zones should have their own grid. That is the only way we'll be able to solve this problem. And I don't like this idea of us being reactive. We should be proactive. What is the reason behind this constant collapse of the national grid? When we're able to discern the reason behind it, then let us fix it in time. Declare state of emergency in power. Because if we are going to attain our objective of becoming a giant of Africa, the issue of power must be addressed. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for calling. Appreciate it. All right, we're still taking your thoughts and your comments. Don't forget, the conversation is on social media. Facebook, we're live, facebook.com/Nigeria Info FM. You can also join the conversation on YouTube, we're Nigeria Info 99.3. The big three stories for today on Hard Facts, and we are looking at the national grid collapse. We're looking at Mr. President asking that we deal with the issue of repatriation of funds for these international airlines, and Wole Soyinka saying that the Labour Party and indeed Peter Obi knew or knows that they didn't win the election because they came third. What are your thoughts? Share them with us. Hello. Apologies. Do call us back if you can. 0700 993 993 993. That's 0700 993 993 993. And we're still asking that you join the conversation on WhatsApp. Send us a message on WhatsApp if you can. Join us on WhatsApp. Or better still, you could just, if you're watching us on the live stream, share your thoughts with us on the live stream. Let me give you some background into the Wole Soyinka story quickly, and I'll go back to the phone lines. Nobel laureate Professor Wole Soyinka yesterday alleged that the leadership of the Labour Party knew its presidential candidate, Peter Obi, lost the February 25th elections. Soyinka accused the leadership of the Labour Party of trying to force a lie on Nigerians, especially the youth, that Obi won the election. The Nobel laureate spoke at an event titled The Lives of Wole Soyinka, a dialogue organized by Africa in the World. Now, the event took place in Stellenbosch, South Africa. While speaking at the event, Soyinka said, or rather was asked to react to his comment against the vice presidential candidate of Labour Party, Dati Baba Ahmed, after the general election. Soyinka said the truth matters to him, noting that many people always look for shortcuts. In his words, and I'd like to quote him, the recent election, two things happened. First of all, one party took over the Labour movement, which is not my favorite movement, and then it became a regional party. Whereas it was a marvelous breach into the established two camps. Peter Obi achieved something remarkable there, that he broke that mold. However, he did not win the election. I can categorically say that Peter Obi's party came third, not even second, in the election. They knew it, but what they want to do is what we call in Yoruba, that is force of lies. Okay, end of quote. And so I'm asking for you what do you think about Professor Wole Soyinka's position? Is the Labour Party indeed in denial of what the realities of the outcome of the elections was? Or could the Nobel laureate, the professor himself, be biased? We'd like to hear your thoughts. 0700 993 993 993. Hello. Welcome to Hard Facts.
Yeah, actually, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thank you very much. For the prof, telling us that Labour Party will be, no, they didn't win the election. They won. The party that is there today, I want to hear what the prof will say. Is it the one that won this election? Because I don't like this when we are being selective. Oh, it's my own person, I had to give it. No. The process, can you say something about the process that brought this man in there? Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Chris, for calling. We appreciate it. I could take one more call or even two. Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Hard Facts.
Yeah, good afternoon. My name is Uche from Sulere.
Go ahead, Uche.
I want to talk about the national grid. Like what they are saying about diversifying the national grid to geopolitical zones. That's not for me, that's not the solution. This government is already built on propaganda. You can remember the time they told us that Dubai lifted the ban that we can now fly. It's not even up to 24 hours.
What does that have to do? What does that have to do with the national grid?
So what I'm trying to say is, let's face our.
Let's face our what? Hello. Oh dear. I really wanted you to land there, but let me take this call from Skype. Kenny is calling us. Hello, Kenny.
Hi, Mara.
Go ahead.
About the national grid, I don't know what's happening. I think during Buhari time there was a same.
Too many people trying to call at the same time. All right. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So I said there was a CMS deal that was during Buhari's time. I don't know what they are doing, why the national grid keeps collapsing. Anyway, they will sort it out with time. For Wole Soyinka, I think we know the facts of the matter. INEC declared Labour Party as the third, but did Peter Obi know whether it came third or first? That's not for Wole Soyinka to decide, because it doesn't know his mind or mind of Labour Party. But what we also know is that they went to court, and those were the facts of the matter. The other fact is that INEC promised Nigeria that they came on national news and said it was mandated by the Electoral Act to transmit results. and then on the day of transmitting they failed. You know what that is called in Yoruba? It's called Bajue.
Bajue. That's what he said.
Exactly
Yes.
Yes, that's exactly what Bajue means. I promise you something, and then on the time of promising, I tell you, no. That's exactly what Bajue means.
Okay.
Thank you, Maria.
All right. Thank you very much, Kenny, for calling. We appreciate it. But Lagos, we've got to go for a break. When we come back from this break, we're still taking your thoughts and your comments. It's still the Big Three, 99.3 Nigeria Info.
This is the Big Three.
The Big Three on Hard Facts.
On 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Nigeria's hub for information, news, sports, and more. Get involved. It's 99 more right after this.
Well, Lagos, if you're just joining us, this is Hard Facts, and this is Nigeria's number one talk news and sports radio station, 99.3 Nigeria Info. I am Mary Anna Okon. This is the Big Three for today, and we are looking at three big stories making the rounds today, not just gracing the covers of our national dailies, but also getting people talking, even on social media. First big story here, is the blackouts across Nigeria as the national grid collapses. And we're asking, did we, celebrate the national grid not collapsing in a few months a bit too early? And what must be done to stop this constant collapse of our national grid? Something has to be done, right? What is it? All right. Also, there's also a story of Mr. President. Mr. President asking for the repatriation of funds. Yes, he's asking that funds that have been owed to these airlines, international airlines, be repatriated. Yes, he has ordered that CBN settle these foreign airlines ASAP. And we're asking, could this also have been maybe one of the conditions that the UAE government has given in terms of dealing with this? Mr. President has asked the CBN to make sure, through the aviation minister, to all of them, to make sure that they settle this situation ASAP. Yes, and we're also looking at Wole Soyinka speaking here about the Labour Party in the past presidential elections. He's saying that the Labour Party and its presidential flag bearer does know that they lost the election in 2023. And this has gotten a lot of people talking for and against. Now I'm asking, could the Nobel laureate be right? And if so, how? But again, could he be biased? Could it also be that the Labour Party is living in denial, being that it came third place? I mean, even the Nobel laureate said that they came third, so he doesn't understand why they think that they won the elections. But I'm asking you, what are your thoughts? Join the conversation. 0700 993 993 993. That's the number for you to call. If you are a lady, call 014657190. And you can tweet at Nigeria Info or on Twitter. Use the hashtag #HadFacts so that I can find your tweet and I can read it. And you can join the conversation. We're live, facebook.com/Nigeria Info FM. And we're on YouTube too, live. Nigeria Info 99.3. Let me go to Skype. Obina is calling us via Skype. Hello, Obina. Good afternoon. Where are you calling us from?
Good afternoon. I'm from Israel.
Go ahead.
Okay, so our dear revered professor, very intelligent man. Yeah, he's just speaking the truth, but in half. I think he's just biased. He said that P2B didn't win. Yeah, we know he did. Even P2B says he's challenging the process that presented the winner. Why didn't our professor, he knew or he saw all this, he followed events that led to the election. Why didn't he speak about what happened during the election? Why didn't he speak about the process that led to the election, the rigging and the cheating? What would he have preferred? Labour Party and P2B should go and see that when they know that they saw that they were cheated out. Or what would he have preferred? They take on to violence? I think he's just stirring up controversy where there is none.
Okay.
He's just stirring unnecessary controversy. He knows very well that Labour Party supporters, the obedience supporters, after all, even Labour Party supporters are not only regional, because he's not trying to paint it as a regional problem. Was it only that region he's pointing to that voted for P2B? No.
Okay.
People from different regions voted for P2B. Our professor knows all this, but he's just trying to stir up controversy.
Thank you very much, Abinna, for calling. We appreciate your thoughts. I'm going to take one. I'll take this call from Kainde. Kainde, thank you very much for calling. Kainde Rio, where are you calling from?
Yeah, I'm calling from the UK.
All right, go ahead.
Let me also reiterate what my friend from Israel have said. We are not saying Peter Obi won. We want free and fair election, and we know what this party in power today in Nigeria can do when it comes to buying people and buying their way to power. Once that is done, like they did in 2019, like they did in 2023, this election that just passed that brought in this present president, what they did is a precedent that if we don't take time in Nigeria, is capable of dividing the country. Because I know what I'm saying. If somebody can come up to say this election is going to be one man, one vote, it's going to be on IREF, where people will be able to go. Do you know what IREF is supposed to mean? If IREF had worked 100%, anybody that cries out of this election is supposed to be beaten seriously.
Okay. All right. Kainde, I have to let you go because you've exceeded your 1 minute time mark. But thank you so much for calling. I did add a few seconds for you because I wanted you to land. All right, Lagos, we're going back to the phone lines. First, we take a detour to our WhatsApp and, as usual, share the love. This one says, "Hi, Marianne. Professor Wole Soyinka has lost his political neutrality relevance as far as Nigeria's politics is concerned. He's yet to say anything about what MC Oluomo and other state-sponsored thugs did to other tribes during the election, but he kept seeing obedience as the enemy of Nigeria. If Soyinka, that lived through 1983 to 85 as an adult, witnessed how Buhari overthrew elected government, how Buhari brought hardship to Nigerians, etc., then it shows he's not the right person to tell Nigerians who to support or not to support. The world saw what happened in Nigeria, so no matter how Prof and his sponsors try to spin the narrative, it won't change the fact." Remy from Akoka, thank you for your message. This one didn't put his name, so I'm not going to read it. This one says, "Good evening, Marianne. As far as I'm concerned, I can never lose a second of my sleep because of any politician. They're all political gladiators using poor and gullible masses. If Asorok is bitter and empty, neither Tinubu nor Atiku nor Obi would be going the extra mile to fight for occupancy. All politicians are desperate individuals, with no exception, and they're not worth losing my sleep. Politicians are all one. They all come in different colors. God bless Nigeria." Timothy from Ikorodu. Okay, Timothy. This one says, "Hello, Miriam. Please now. Please." My name is Mary Ann. Okay. Mary and Ann. Does it make sense? Okay. This one says, "Power grid collapse. I believe we have newly elected Minister of Power. He's in the right place to answer why we keep having this power grid collapse and a solution to it. That's why he wasn't elected, guys. He was appointed. If possible, he should be invited on our show. Yes, I'm sure we're going to do that next week, hopefully, if he accepts to come." Moses from Okoko Michael, thank you for your message. I'll take a few more and then go to the phone lines. This one says, "The solutions to the frequent grid collapse is clear. Decentralize the national grid system and improve efficiency in the transmission of power across the country. The national grid as it is got limited transmission capacity, which can't exceed 5,000 megawatts, which is paltry and not even enough for Lagos alone, really." Ni from Omole. Thank you, Ni. Chooks from Berigbe in Ikorodu says, "I disagree with Professor Wole Soyinka. I owe him a lot of respect, but it seems he does not know his stance as it is." Okay, take it easy, guys. This one says, "Wole Soyinka is not saying the truth. Peter Obi won the election." How do you know that, sir? "INEC deliberately put Obi on third position so they can say, how can third be first? Tinubu did Badwe." I have to be able to pronounce this word very well. Bossade from Ikorodu. Thank you very much for your message. Let's go back to the phone lines. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Hard Facts. Lady, do call me back. Hello, good afternoon. Everybody's calling. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Hard Facts.
Hello, Miriam.
Hello, Hard Facts. It's me. Yes. Welcome. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Can I speak on this topic? What was saying the call earlier?
Yeah.
And that guy's my name from Satellite Town.
Go ahead.
It's kind of unfortunate that CB, that is Professor Wole Soyinka, who formerly referred to him, is meddling in political issues from a biased standpoint. First of all, Labour Party is not saying they won the election. They are challenging the process, the integrity of the process. Secondly, he's tarring the entire obedience with a tribal brush, which is not true. I have friends who are from a western part of the country who even voted for the Labour Party. Thirdly, he's not talking about the fraud and all the evils that are associated with that election. He's not talking about that. And I think at his stage of his life now, he should be a neutral statesman. He's an international icon. He's a Nobel laureate. And the spirit of no friend, no foe. He should take a neutral stance when it comes to issues of this nature. And he should not forget, this matter is still heading to the Supreme Court. So it is not yet over until it's truly over. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much for calling. We appreciate it. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Hard Facts.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name, sir? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Steve calling from Festac.
Steve, are you sleeping? Why are you sounding like that?
Oh, sorry, I'm not sleeping.
Go ahead. Don't mind me.
Yeah, please, I want to talk on the Wole Soyinka issue.
Okay.
I used to give him a high respect because of his position in the country, but I'm just disappointed with the comments he made far from the country, Nigeria.
Okay, can I ask you, if Wole Soyinka made this statement against the PDP, would you have lost respect for him?
Why not he talk about the process that brought
Help me
in
answer the
president?
question first. Now, don't be angry because everybody keeps saying I've lost respect for him. If he said this about a different political party that also didn't win, would you have lost respect for him?
If he said the same thing that is crystal clear to everybody, this is what brought up this person into power, then everybody will still give him the respect. But for him to go ahead and say, yes, Peter Obi is not saying that he won the election, is going against the process that brought in the present power we are suffering today. Okay, look at it. INEC knew what they did by placing him on the third position so that he will not have the right to come up to claim that he's the winner of the election.
Okay.
Please, I have to say this clearly. I'm disappointed in the Nigerian election, and I'm not going to vote again from now on.
Well, don't give up. I'm going to tell you this. Don't give up because, you see, I always paint a picture of, trying to achieve a goal or trying to give birth to a baby. If the mother who gave birth to you halfway through her push said, you know what, it's not even worth it, I can't do it, it's too painful, I can't deal with it, you'd probably not be here. But then it's the power to push through and push till that baby comes out, and then the doctor says, oh, the baby's alive, and you hear that cry. But it takes a whole lot. It's a process. You know what they say about Rome? It wasn't built in a day. So don't give up. You came out en masse to vote and you don't feel like your vote counted. And sometimes even if your vote counts, sometimes it's not your man who wins. But then it doesn't stop you from continuing to fight for your democracy, to build it to where you want it to be. So don't give up. Come on, Lagos. Hello. Sorry about that. Call me back. The ladies' line, all the calls are not coming. Hello. So apparently something's wrong with the ladies' line. I've not been able to pick any call from there. Hello.
Yeah, Miriam, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name? Where are you calling from, sir?
Yeah, you have Emmanuel on the line calling from Ekwe.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but I'm not surprised. We have a prof who fainted at National Assembly. It's a drama galore for the professors. Is this the kind of elections we want? Is it telling me that APC convincingly win in Rivers State? When there's a dot and there's question mark to success, that success it should be questioned. So you can't fool us. As for the repatriation of the airline funds, I hope the Naira won't be further devaluated. Because, to be honest with you, if it is firm that we want to pay these people their money in dollar, we'll be in a shock, in a deep crisis, at least for some months. So it's unfortunate the kind of government we have that you don't pay these people when we are supposed to pay them, and then you accumulate these funds, and then you want to pay them now at once. It's unfortunate the kind of government we have in Nigeria. Good afternoon.
All right, but I don't also, I don't think that all can be done at once, but then there has to be, government has to be seen doing or making an effort to want to pay these monies, because if it's done in a way, really, it's unrealistic to say let's pay all the money at once. We already have a policy that's, one way or another is stifling that seamless process. But the president is saying, let's see how we can make this happen, because one way or another, it eases the tension that we have with these countries. I'm thinking that is it. But if you have any comments on our live stream, I would like to read from you. Let me go to Facebook here. Ibuka, thank you very much for your very funny message on Facebook. Austin, I'm not going to read your message because it's a bit rude to the professor. Yeah, you can talk about what he said, but don't be rude to the professor. So I'm not going to read that message. All right, this one says, "Good day, Marianne. I think Professor Wole Soyinka should just leave these politicians alone to solve their problems. After all, they're all in court already. Prof should remain in the realm of an elder statesman that he is. I can bet you that this interview and his seemingly partisan view and response will generate unnecessary attacks, brickbats, and mudslinging in a very near future. No politician is worth queuing behind or worth defending or worth dying for. They're all the same. Tinubu, Atiku, Peter Obi, Kwankwaso, etc. Femi from Ikorodu sent us that message. I've got about 6 minutes on the clock. I'll take more calls. I'm trying to take a lady's call here. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Praise God, though.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank
Nothing wrong
you.
with women's line.
What's your name, ma'am? Where are you
It's
calling
just
from?
like a woman is just trying to think of what is going on. Yeah. Wole Soyinka, it seems he has interest with Tinubu. This is second time he attacked Obi, and Obi then, which is wrong as
But why would it be that he has an interest with the president? He could just be saying how he feels. It's his opinion.
I didn't hear you clearly.
You said that he looks like he has an interest with the president, and I'm saying, why does he have to be the president? It could just be his personal opinion.
No, you can see how he talks. Wole Soyinka was not in Nigeria during the election, but the way he talks, it seems he supports whatever happened to Tinubu. If you're concerned about Nigeria, hello?
I'm listening.
Okay. Hello?
I can hear you.
If you're concerned about Nigeria, he will not talk the way he talks. Even he was accusing the LP, the vice president, and it was after election he came out because he was telling the world that the Tinubu did not win Abuja, and that was the question they asked Wole Soyinka in South Africa. They want to know because the old world concentrates on Nigeria. They know what is going on.
Okay.
So that we must not pretend as everything is okay here.
All right. Thank you very much for calling. I'm going to take a few more calls. Let's see how we can quickly take all your concerns. Hello.
Yeah, Miriam, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, Jonathan is my name.
Go ahead.
Miriam, election, is it about number? I think election is about numbers and the person that have the highest vote that is cast for him. If I go by the petition written by the petitioners, I'm tempted to follow Soyinka. If you watch closely the petitions, they are not talking about numbers. They are talking about the processes, talking about INEC, talking about this. I was expecting to see for this motion, I win this number. You win that number.
But again, an electoral process, you see, the reason why it's called a process is that processes have to be followed. So what are numbers if processes were not followed? If there are obvious loopholes, sir, these loopholes have to be questioned. And this is, if this is what the petitioner is saying, then of course they do have a case. I'm not thinking that it's just going to be about numbers. They have to question everything. The rules of engagement. If it was broken and they didn't follow through, they have a right to go to court.
They have a right. I'm not disputing their right. What I'm only saying is, if you look the petition closely, it's not talking about numbers. It's talking about the processes. And for me, I think election and democracy is about numbers.
And also about processes. What is a democracy?
Even your guest, even Oshoma that came here, he was talking about the parties presenting party agents at every polling unit to prove your point. He was saying it that day. And even you interviewed somebody to about this election. Was it yesterday?
2 days ago.
So I think the election basically primarily it's supposed to be about number first, wherever you vote for first.
It's about the processes. It's the processes that bring you to the numbers.
That I agree. People have a right to question processes.
And that's what they're doing.
But I think election and democracy is about get highest vote.
No, sir. You're wrong. You're wrong, sir. No, sir. No, sir. Go back to your government class. No. It's not just about the numbers. Where do we start from before we get these numbers? They're processes. Before you even get to counting, there's so many processes that are involved. And if you skip that line and get to numbers, we need to know how you got to getting that number. So you can't say democracy is about numbers. I'm sorry, that's a skewed perspective. Hello? Hello?
Hello, Miriam.
You're not a lady. You're not a lady, sir. You're not a lady. You can't be calling the ladies' line. Sorry. Go call the numbers for the gentleman. Hello?
Hello, Miriam.
Yes, good evening. What's your name, sir? Where are you calling from?
My name is Prince Y. calling you from Amward Offering.
All right, Prince, go ahead.
I think the process, we have a little problem. You know, we have the INEC Act. And the way you are now free that field, they go to Constitution. And Constitution say, before you can transmit to IRF or this or that, the ECA must be given to every representative for the party. And this must be done by the INEC. And they've done that. That is why today they give parties and listen attentively to those judges. They get to issue serially, and I'm very happy about it. So what Wole Soyinka said, yes, as of today, but I very talk of appeal court.
Okay.
Obi is number 3, Atiku is number 2, Tinubu is number 1.
All right. Thank you very much for calling. We appreciate it. I'm going to read some of your messages. If there's still time, I'll take one more call. But let me go to the messages. I really want to do justice to them. This one says, please let our learned professor be circumspect and tactful in his speech. The case is now in Supreme Court. I wonder why he has been quiet since. And about the election process. Muna from Ojigbo. This one says, Jonathan, your message is so long, I can't read it. If you want to send me a message, please make it short and straight to the point. Greetings. This one calls me Madam. Hey, see me a small Madam. Okay. Soyinka should also tell us that the current Imo State Governor Uzodinma did not win the election that he's currently sitting. I'm sure you mean the position he's currently occupying. Udom, thank you for your message. This one says, it is always very difficult when truth is spoken or faces you. But because of sentiment and fixation of our mindset, we fail to see it. The Labour Party and the PDP rejection of the two leaders to accept the flag bearer and vice presidential position was when they failed. This is in the sense of majority. Sam, I don't understand. All right, this one said, Wole Soyinka and his likes have lost relevance since the Buhari administration for failing to speak the truth to those in power when things were going bad. He has lost our respect for him. Jackson from Apapa. I've got about 20 seconds. Let me run through some of your messages, okay? Okay, thank you very much, King Anonymous from Lekki. Thank you. I see your message. I appreciate it. This one says, Professor Wole Soyinka is not telling himself the truth. I believe with old age comes wisdom for one to prepare. Okay, Onyeka from Igondo. Well, Lagos, we've got to go. When we come back, we'll be talking global perspective, and we're looking at the U.S. Stay with us.
Stay one step ahead with the latest news and trending conversations here on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Don't tell people you've added weight. Why are you losing weight?
Yeah.
You're eating. No, it's not eating.
That money, the pass is good. That finally.
We should be patient and pray to God that God is going to answer our prayer.
Please, this is not all about prayer. It's not like everything is not prayer. That is Nigerian mentality. It's not finding happiness in your home. You pray.
Your number one station for talk. Let's talk.
Every morning, as the sun rises over this vibrant city of Lagos, we'll be right here with you. Diving into discussions that matter, we'll tackle the headlines, explore stories that shape our lives, and dissect the issues that keep us awake at night. That's not all. The Morning Crossfire is your platform too. Your thoughts, your opinions, they all have a place right here. From politics to business and the economy, from the social issues to the heart of the
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3